In today's video, we're going to play a little bit of live roulette online. We're starting with just a $13 bankroll. And one of the things that I had to learn when I first started learning table gaming is I had to come to terms with it is entertainment. I may lose money, but you don't have to worry about hitting large jackpots or losing your entire life savings. I think that a lot of the youth, such as myself, that for the last 10 years thought this was cool, didn't really know what they were doing. We were a little intimidated. So I spent the last couple of years just learning the basics. I'm not a professional. This is not guaranteed advice, but I wanted to come in here and just play a little bit for 15 minutes. I'm going to set a timer here off to the side. And today, we're not going to play any kind of actual, we're not going to play an actual theory or an actual skill. We're not going to do like an actual setup. What we're going to do today is we're going to just kind of play around the board and start to understand how some of the odds work. I think one of the most intimidating things about playing table gaming is being intimidated, not about knowing how it works, but really trying to memorize the whole thing at one time. So today we're going to just play through and talk a little bit about what each one of these things means, and how you can actually enjoy the game as entertainment. So here we go, and let's see what we can make happen here. Bets are closed. We're going to go into this with a $13 balance. We're playing for 15 minutes. If you watched my last video, you'll know that we played the rows with 1 unit. 1 unit is whatever our base chip is. In today's example, our base chip is going to be a 20 cent chip we've got right here. So let's go ahead and just play a row. Let's play all 3 rows. We can't play all 3 on this online version because then it's just a wash every time. Let's play the top 2 rows. If you watched my last video, you'll understand that right now we are playing, if it lands anywhere from 3 to 36 or 2 to 35, we're going to be a winner. These rows pay 2 to 1, so we get 2 chips for every 1 chip we put out. We can call them chips, we can call them, bets, we can call them whatever you want to call them. Um, but this is, there we go. We hit a 8 black, which fell on our row. We got 2 to 1. So we started with 13. We put 2 out. We got 1 extra back. So we lost these 2, but because they paid us 2 to 1, we came up winning 1. So let's play that again. A couple things that you need to keep in mind are these other bets here, these dozens, they pay 2 to 1 also. So if we win, we're going to get 3 chips back. 2 we have to count as a wash. 1 brings us up money. So we're going to play this again. If we lose, we're going to switch to some dozen bets. Same concept. We're just going to play a couple dozens at random. Here we go. We won. So since we won, let's keep the streak going. Right? Let's just push it. Do another 2 to 1 bet. Same concept. Right? So now we're actually up. We've won twice. So this 20 cents is our winnings. We're back to our regular $13 starting balance. And I know $13 is not a lot of money, but I want to play with reasonable amounts of money online to show all of my viewers how you can get comfortable using this as entertainment. And I promise you that 15 minutes goes by way faster than you think when you're playing these games. I'm sure they're designed that way with the ball and everything. So we lost. Now let's switch to some dozen bets. And we're going to pick the middle dozen and the low dozen. So we're going to pick the middle dozen and the low dozen. If it lands any of these numbers or any of these numbers, 12 and 12, right? Any of these 24 numbers, we will see a 2 to 1 payout. So again, right, if we see a win here, we'll come up 20 cents. So we're going to let it play out, see what happens. I've watched a lot of videos over the years. I've learned a lot of things. One thing, yep, and we got it right there. So we lost on that last one. We're up on this one. Let's just rebet. Let's just rebet. Still play those dozens. I've watched a lot of videos. I've heard a lot of the advice. I've studied a lot of the odds. Again, I'm not a professional by any stretch of the imagination. However, one thing that was missing when I was doing my first research was a basic understanding of how to play with 10 cents, how to play with 20 cents. It seems like a lot of the players that I would watch would use simulations and they would play $5 bets or $25 bets. So we lost that one, right? So let's switch it over here. Let's play this and let's play one of those. At this point, this is not any kind of skill. This is not any kind of setup. This is literally just an arbitrary me playing so that you can understand how it works, right? Losing 20 cents at a time here, 60 cents at a time is just me showing you how all of this comes together. You can watch all the training videos in the world. You can watch all the simulations in the world. There are people that explain roulette way better than me. But for me, the benefit was just logging in and watching people play. So we got whacked on zero, right? Since it was on a zero, none of our bets won. Let's go. Let's just run that bet again. Okay. And that's what's happening, right? Like one of the things that we're seeing here, that I'm seeing, especially when I go to our local casino, is most people are selecting numbers, they're selecting dozens. They don't really understand the math and the odds, and they're treating it like entertainment, but it can be done multiple ways. It can be a vice, it can be entertainment, and it can also be, here we go. So we won first dozen and 2-1 there. So again, it's a wash, right? I think I don't remember how much we came up on that one. I wasn't paying attention, but let's just rebet that, right? Yeah. So we were able to just wash because we hit this middle row. What did we hit? An 11. So we got paid 2-1. So we got 3 chips back, and we had 3 chips on the board. So we did not win or lose any money on that last one. Now, ideally hitting a 20 in this, hitting this middle row or hitting this row might let us come out a little bit ahead to some degree. But again, there we go. So we won here, 12-20. Again, it's just a push, right? So we're able to play multiple times without losing our bankroll, and we are able to really understand how the math works, how the game works, what kind of time is in between the game. You can see the countdown on when they're asking for my bets to be open or closed, or do you have all your stuff ready? So I think it's important to kind of take note here of just generically, right, how the game works, watching me play, and understanding that I'm trying to take the intimidation factor out for everyone, right? So that was a complete loss, right? That was a complete loss. So now let's talk about some of these down here. You'll see that it highlights them 1 through 18, odds, evens, right? These bets only pay 2-1, right? I'm sorry, 1-1, right? These are an even bet. So if I bet 1 chip, I win 1 chip. If I bet 1 chip and I lose just the 1 chip. So we're going to bet on the low numbers, so 1 through 18, so this half of the board, and then this 19 through 36, which is this half of the board, right? You cannot bet on both of them, because what happens when you bet on both of them is, unless you hit a double zero or a single zero, you're going to win, but it's just going to be a push every time. Why would they not want you to do that? Oh, and we lost, right? So looks like we've had some lows, some highs. There's really no thing here. Let's just go with the lows again before we switch over to something else. Let's go with low odd numbers. So now we have two bets out there. If I hit a low number, but it's even, it's a wash. If I hit an odd number, it's high, it's a wash. But if I hit a low odd number, I'll win a little bit of money. We'll get a couple of our chips back. And again, I'm not really going into this video as education, right? I'm going into this video as showing you how to actually play. That one was a low even, so it was a wash, right? Back to after our bets, we're back to $11. Now, coming up, I may do some training videos and try to explain in my words how to play this game. But if you've already watched videos and you found me on YouTube, chances are you've got a general understanding for the ball, the wheel, what's going on, placing bets. I think it's just more important for people to actually see it in action with money, with real money. We started at $13. We're down some money. We've got 5 minutes left to play. And I think it is imperative here that people realize. Let's see. Let's do. Oh man, we didn't get one off in time. I tried to take them off and switch to the higher numbers, and I just didn't get my bet in time. So I think it's just more important for people to see the game played through, hear me ramble and talk a little bit, and just kind of play through for the noobs, for the newbies, for the people that haven't studied all of the golden circles and TIE fighters and just all the stuff, right? So let's do high evens for a round or two and see if we can get something done there. But I think it's important for all of you to see it played in real life, understand what's going on the best that you can, and then bounce back and forth between real play and training play. And on YouTube, some of my favorite videos are the people that are testing new theories and testing new structures. And they're like, this one wins 80% of the time, and this one, I think all of that is fantastic, right? But I think what's more important is really coming through with with real world applications. So we won. It's still just been a wash. We've been down $2 for a long time here, but we've lost $2 in 15 minutes over the course of an hour. Over the course of an hour, that really puts us in a position where we're only losing $5 or $6. So you can come in here, you can play around, you can, especially when you're online, you can start to learn how everything works with only losing $5 an hour, right? That's way cheaper than seeing a movie. There we go. So yet again, another wash. So now let's switch it up here a little bit. Let's go to black in the middle, in the middle, right? We're just going to spend a lot of money here. There's no rhyme or reason to this. I'm hoping for a black number in the middle dozen in the center row. So my jackpot is 1720, right? That is my jackpot. 17 or 20 is my jackpot. Anything else in this middle row is good. And in this middle dozen, and in this middle section here, we'll wash and get our money back. If I win in the middle and don't hit my jackpot numbers, we're going to still lose a little bit of money. It's possible to wash a couple different ways here, but once you start to realize that these basic payouts are 2-to-1 and 1-to-1, you can start to form a little bit of a plan, even if it's not the best plan, right? So there's a 12. So that's a red 12 in that quadrant. I did not win a single thing. Thankfully, it only cost me 60 cents. Let's do it again. We've got 2.5 minutes left on our clock. And again, you can start to see that this middle row makes it a wash. So anything in the middle row makes it a wash. Anything black means that I'm losing 20 cents because I'm recouping 1 to 1. Anything in this middle makes it a wash. So if it's in the middle black, if it's in the middle, if it's in the middle black, you can start to understand how the odds, how the payouts, how everything kind of works in real life. Now, eventually, there's a red out of that, but in the middle, so we washed, right? We were able to wash on that 32. So we were able to recoup our money back. Everything looks pretty solid. Now, as we advance through my videos every couple days, I will start playing some actual bets that make sense, some actual, tipping the odds as far in our favor as we can. But again, this video was just to show everyone real world play. Like, show up, put in $15, 13, I think is what we started with. Throw some small bets on here and just really get a feel for passing time, right? Really get a feel for how this works. So we got 30 seconds left. We're gonna go with one final bet, and let's put it on black. So our final bet on black, and let's see what we can get out of it. Let's go ahead and play that up. Here we go. The hope is that we can close this and at least win 20 cents of our money back. There's our timer. Perfect timing. If not, we're going to be stuck at a $10 bankroll, which means we lost $3 in 15 minutes, which would be $12 an hour. So coming in here with no rhyme or reason, no discipline. We hit it. Look at that. So we're going to come out of this up a little bit, which is fantastic. So I appreciate everybody being here with me today. I appreciate, all the likes and feedback from the different social platforms. I really wanted to come into YouTube and record 15 and 20-minute long videos of just what I would have found beneficial, right? What I would have found beneficial when I was learning is real world, somebody new and inexperienced, just talking it out and trying to help me understand how everything works with in the real world, right? Like, I can read a chart and know the payouts. I can follow along with a tutorial, and I can set up bets on various corners and different things. I can do all of that, right? What I can't do is really understand what it means to lose money, or what it means to win money, or what it means to control it to be entertainment, if I'm not actually watching it in real time. So I really appreciate everybody hanging out with me and listening as we go through this. Let's and that's it for me, guys. I hope to catch you on the next video. Thank you.